If your nails are weak, bend easily, peel in layers, or feel completely destroyed after gel or semi-permanent polish, I need you to listen to this very carefully. So many people believe that nail damage after gel manicures is just normal. They think it's temporary, cosmetic, something that fixes itself with a few weeks of rest. But it's not always that simple. And when they're repeatedly exposed to aggressive filing, acetone, UV lamps, chemical adhesives, and traumatic removal, the keratin structure starts to literally break down. I'm Dr. Liseth Lopez, a physician with studies in dermatology, and I'm going to tell you what you actually need to know. A lot of the time, the problem isn't just the polish, it's the entire process, the prep, the buffing, the removal, the frequency, and the fact that so many people never give their nails a real chance to recover. That's why I made this video. Because I constantly hear from people who are frustrated saying, "Doctor, my nails used to be strong and now they feel like paper." Or, "Ever since I started using gel, they've never grown back the same way." And yes, dermatological science has confirmed that repeated procedures can alter the nail plate, increase brittleness, and damage the nail's natural protective barrier. But don't worry, because today, we're not just talking about the problem, we're talking about real solutions. Today, I put together 5 drugstore products that can genuinely help repair nails damaged by gel, acrylic, or semi-permanent polish. Products with dermatological backing. But before we get into them, I need you to understand something fundamental about how nails actually work. Think of your nail like a roof made up of multiple compact layers of keratin. When a nail is healthy, those layers stay bonded together, flexible and strong. But every time the surface gets aggressively filed, harsh removers are used, or polish is peeled off before it's ready. Those layers start to separate. This has a name, onychoschitzia, and it's far more common than most people realize. The nail loses cohesion, loses water, loses its natural lipids, and starts breaking easily. Have you ever peeled off your gel or semi-permanent because you were in a hurry? Well, you most likely also pulled off microscopic layers of keratin along with it. It's literally like ripping tape off a freshly painted wall. You don't just remove the surface layer, you also damage part of the structure underneath. On top of that, a lot of people believe that nails breathe. Actually, the nail plate is made of dead keratin cells. It doesn't breathe the way a lung does, but it does exchange water and maintains a delicate structural balance. And when that balance is repeatedly disrupted, brittleness, healing, sensitivity, and deformities appear. That's why the products we're going to look at today have one very clear purpose: to hydrate, repair, protect, and help rebuild the nail structure. Now let's get into it. First product. If I had to choose just one product for nails destroyed by gel or semi-permanent polish, I would choose without hesitation a good moisturizing cream, ideally one containing a key ingredient, urea. And right about now, someone is probably thinking, urea? Seriously? Yes, seriously, because urea is one of the most underestimated ingredients in all of dermatology. Most people think it's only for cracked heels, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Urea has both moisturizing and keratin reorganizing properties. And that is exactly what a damaged nail needs. At concentrations between 10 and 20%, urea helps draw water into the nail structure and improves the flexibility of the keratin. Healthy nails need strength, but they also need elasticity. And here's something interesting. When a nail constantly loses water from repeated exposure to acetone or filing, the layers start separating from each other. Urea helps restore some of that cohesion. I remember a patient who had been wearing semi-permanent polish for nearly 4 years straight. 4 years. When she finally removed it, her nails were so thin that it hurt to type on a keyboard. She literally felt sensitivity with every touch. And I know so many of you have experienced the exact same thing because you've told me in the comments. We started a simple routine. Urea cream every night, cuticle oil, and a complete break from gel for several months. And with consistency, she regained a tremendous amount of thickness and strength. And this connects to something important. Patience is also part of dermatological treatment. How should you use this type of cream? Apply it to your nails and cuticles before bed, massaging gently for a few seconds. And remember that cuticles matter far more than most people think. They function as a protective seal. When they're aggressively cut back or constantly damaged, the risk of inflammation, infection, and dehydration goes up significantly. So moisturizing your cuticles isn't just cosmetic, it's biological protection. Now let's move on to the second product, oils rich in vitamin E and physiological lipids, because your nails are constantly exposed to water, soap, alcohol, and household detergents. But unlike skin, nails produce virtually no protective oil on their own. That means they depend heavily on external care. Oils containing jojoba, sweet almond, vitamin E, or squalane help reduce water loss and improve nail flexibility. Jojoba, for example, has a structure very similar to certain natural human lipids, which makes it easier for the nail to absorb at the surface level. Vitamin E also acts as an antioxidant and helps protect against oxidative stress. Because yes, even nails experience oxidative stress, especially when they're repeatedly exposed to the UV lamps used to cure gel polish. The UV lamps used in manicures generate cumulative exposure to UVA radiation. The amount per session may be relatively low, but repeated exposure over years is something specialists take seriously, especially in people with a history of hyperpigmentation, photoaging, or skin cancer. That's why many specialists recommend applying sunscreen to your hands about 20 minutes before a UV lamp manicure, or using special protective gloves. But let's come back to oils. A lot of people make one huge mistake. They apply oil once a month and expect miracles. That's not how it works. Nail repair depends enormously on consistency. One comment I see constantly says, "Doctor, I tried oil and it did nothing." But when you ask how they used it, you find out they applied it 3 times the entire month. Nails need repeated, regular care. Apply your oil right after washing your hands. Why? Because at that moment, there's still residual moisture and the oil helps seal it in. That significantly improves the effect. Now let's move on to the third product, nail strengtheners, but the right kind, because there's a tremendous amount of misinformation out there on this topic. Many traditional hardeners contain formaldehyde or very aggressive derivatives. Modern nail strengtheners aim for something different, improving cohesion without destroying flexibility. That's why they typically include silicones, hydrolyzed keratin, bioavailable calcium, or protective polymers. And remember, calcium isn't always the magic fix for weak nails. A lot of people automatically think, my nails break because I'm not getting enough calcium. But most of the time, the issue is external structural damage, dehydration, or repeated microtrauma, not necessarily a calcium deficiency. And here's something I see constantly. People who wear semi-permanent polish continuously for years without any break at all. They literally remove one coat and apply another the same day. The nail never gets a rest from filing or solvents. It's like running a marathon every single day without any muscle recovery. At some point, the tissue gives out. That's why many dermatologists recommend rest periods between applications, especially when there's already visible brittleness. And right about now, someone is probably saying, "But doctor, my nails look terrible without polish." I completely understand that feeling. So many people feel insecure when they see their damaged nails, but constantly covering up the problem often prevents it from actually healing. Sometimes the nail literally needs months to recover, and that takes patience. Quick pause. If you're learning something new and you're enjoying this science-based content, subscribe if you like the video. It genuinely helps this information reach more people who need it. Now let's move on to the fourth product, acetone-free removers or gentler formulas. Acetone works fast because it efficiently dissolves nail polish, but it also strips away a tremendous amount of natural lipids. The nail ends up extremely dehydrated. And when this happens repeatedly, the problems start. Peeling, sensitivity, dullness, micro cracks. Now, I don't want to take things to the extreme either. Occasional acetone use doesn't automatically destroy your nails. The problem is the frequency and the context, especially when it's combined with excessive filing and traumatic removal. That's why many people see significant improvements simply by cutting back on aggressive manicures and changing some basic habits. And here's something that almost nobody talks about: the removal process itself. Forcefully peeling off semi-permanent polish can strip away entire layers of surface keratin, and this creates a vicious cycle. The nail gets thinner, so the next coat of polish doesn't last as long. They end up filing even more aggressively, and the structure keeps breaking down. It's literally a cycle of cumulative damage. That's why dermatologists recommend removing polish properly, ideally without mechanically peeling it off. It's also important to know that some people develop allergic contact dermatitis from components found in gel polishes, adhesives, or acrylates. And how does it show up? Itching, swelling, redness around the nail, peeling, even eczema on the eyelids or neck from indirect contact. And here's a significant problem. Most people never connect the dots. They think they just have sensitive skin without realizing that their manicures may be the trigger. Acrylates are widely used substances with a high sensitizing potential. So if you notice persistent irritation after gel manicures, don't ignore it. Now let's move on to the fifth product. Oils or strengthening treatments with biotin and keratin. And here I need to be completely honest with you. The scientific evidence on oral biotin for nails is mixed. It's not a universal miracle, but for some people with nail brittleness, it can help, especially when there's a nutritional deficiency or chronic damage involved. And this opens up a much deeper topic, nutrition, because no nail can grow strong if the body doesn't have enough raw materials to work with. Protein, iron, zinc, vitamin D, omega-3s, all of it plays a role. Nails are made primarily of keratin, which is a protein. And when someone follows an extremely restrictive diet, loses weight rapidly, or has nutritional deficiencies, the nails reflect that. I remember a patient who came in desperate because her nails kept breaking constantly. She had tried hardeners, nail polishes, and expensive supplements. But when we went through her history, we discovered she had been eating very little protein for months out of fear of gaining weight. Her body simply didn't have enough material to properly build the nail. The health of your nails, skin, and hair depends far more on your daily habits than on any miracle product. It's also important not to use your nails as tools. Things like opening cans, peeling off labels, or scraping surfaces. Every bit of microtrauma adds up, especially when the nail is already weakened by chemicals. Now, I want to specifically talk about the differences between regular polish, gel, and semi-permanent, because they don't all cause the same type of damage. Traditional nail polish tends to cause less direct structural damage because it doesn't require intense filing or UV lamps. The problem there usually comes more from frequent remover use or overuse in general. Semi-permanent and gel, on the other hand, typically require mechanical surface prep to improve adhesion, and that's where a large portion of the damage comes from. On top of that, many systems use acrylic monomers that can sensitize the skin. And something even more important, the extended wear time of these polishes causes many people to overlook early signs of damage or infection because the nail stays covered for weeks. Sometimes when gel partially lifts and moisture gets trapped underneath, bacteria can multiply and cause a greenish discoloration. A lot of people automatically assume it's a fungal infection, but that's not always the case. That's exactly why you should never cover up strange color changes by simply applying more polish on top. Doing that delays diagnosis and makes the problem worse. When was the last time you actually saw your nails completely bare for several weeks in a row? A lot of people don't even remember what their nails really look like because they're permanently covered, and this connects to something emotional that I see constantly. The pressure to look a certain way, people who feel like their hands look ugly without perfect polish. But I want you to remember something. Health should always come before temporary appearance, because severely damaged nails can take months to recover, and the more accumulated damage there is, the longer the repair takes. Now I want to pause and talk about warning signs, because while most cases are simply brittleness from chemical trauma, some changes do require medical evaluation. For example, intense pain, persistent swelling, discharge, progressive separation of the nail from the bed, new dark streaks, rapid color changes, severe thickening. A lot of people believe that the stronger a product burns, the better it works. That is a major misconception. Modern dermatology understands that constantly irritating a tissue does not mean repairing it. In fact, many nails get worse precisely because of an excess of aggressive products, strong acids, excessive filing, constant removers, abrasive home remedies. And here I need to speak directly about that. Lemon, garlic, baking soda, or bleach on your nails are not serious dermatological treatments. Some homemade mixtures can actually cause contact dermatitis, chemical burns, or severe irritation around the nail. Natural does not mean safe. And that is a fundamental point. Scientific evidence matters because the internet is full of viral recommendations with no real backing. Food is not made for hair or for skin, and certainly not for nails. Now, I want to talk about something that seems small but makes a huge difference in recovery: daily hydration. And when nails lose too much water, they lose flexibility. That's why constantly washing your hands without replenishing moisture significantly worsens brittleness, especially for people who use hand sanitizer frequently or work with detergents. That's why I recommend wearing gloves for household cleaning, because detergents and solvents directly alter the lipid structure of both the nail and the surrounding skin. Now, I want us to take an important pause, because I know that a lot of people feel guilt when they hear about this topic. They think, so I've permanently damaged my nails. And that's not necessarily true. The vast majority of people improve significantly with proper care and enough time. But you do need to understand something fundamental. Nail repair is slow. Keep in mind that no supplement can undo years of aggressive filing and repeated trauma if the habits stay the same. That's why the right approach is always a comprehensive one. Protection, hydration, nutrition, rest periods, and a reduction in chemical aggression. Subscribe if you enjoy the video, because here we talk about real dermatology, evidence-based, and explained in a way that actually makes sense. Now I want you to do something in your mind. Look at your nails without polish. Honestly, are there ridges, peeling layers, sensitivity, dullness, and uneven surface? Because so many of us normalize damage that really shouldn't be there. And here's another interesting point. Nails age too. With age, growth rate slows, lipid content changes, and brittleness increases. That's why mature nails tend to tolerate repeated aggressive procedures much less well. And that's exactly why so many people over 50 or 60 notice that gel just doesn't work the same as it used to. There's no question that nails and self-esteem are deeply connected. A lot of people hide their hands, avoid showing them, feel uncomfortable and self-conscious, especially after severe damage. But I want to tell you something important. You don't need perfect nails to have beautiful hands, and a lot of the time, recovering your nail health means temporarily accepting a transition period. And even though the beauty industry often makes us feel like our nails need to look flawless at all times, the reality is that no manicure is worth it if it completely destroys the nail structure. The key is balance. Enjoying nail aesthetics without sacrificing your health? I'd love for you to tell me in the comments. Have you ever felt like gel or semi-permanent polish damaged your nails? Have you tried any of the products I mentioned? Did you experience that thing where your nails ended up paper thin after removing your polish? I love reading your experiences and hearing what you've been through. And if this video helped you understand something that nobody had clearly explained to you before, share it with someone who gets their nails done regularly and thinks the damage is just normal. Because so many people keep repeating harmful habits simply because nobody ever taught them how to actually take care of their nails. And if you want to learn even more about your nails, I invite you to watch the next video. Weak nails. After 45, the mistake that's making them thinner and more brittle. Remember that on this channel, we keep talking about dermatology, healthy aging, hair, nails, and skincare, all with information grounded in scientific evidence.